Welcome back to Muscle TV. Well, the Max's 12-week Muscle Up Challenge has produced some incredible transformations, perhaps none more so than the one we're going to look at in our next segment. At nearly 50 years young, Kim Tansker, by his own admission, had let himself go a bit, and he needed a solid reality check to jolt himself into action. Well, as you'll see, not only did Kim achieve fantastic results in the challenge, but it relit a fire that saw him go on and achieve an even greater goal. And for those of you that are stuck in a rut or lacking inspiration, this is a must-watch. Let's check it out.
Well, I'm 50 years old. I'm actually born in Finland. I'm married. I've got one boy and one girl. I run a business, Australian Muscle in Adelaide, 3 supplement stores. I've been training since I was 21 years old. I competed the first time in 1987. In those days, I was a carpenter by trade. I was always known as the model, chippy at work, you know, all the other guys are a little bit punchy, you know, and on the tools, I stayed fairly lean. I went into the gym one day and I picked up a weight. I did one set and I put it down and I thought to myself, I don't want to do this anymore, and I walked out. I never won a show, and I always thought that I'd like to keep going one day. I still kept training, so I was strong, and that encouraged me in the gym not to change anything. Yeah, I'm strong, I'm big and strong. And I got up to like nearly 90 kilos at my height, which is way too heavy. My son started working in the store with me, so he was learning the ropes. He started training with us. I bought some weights from the shop and a bench, and he trained at home. And he was sort of training, and I was saying, yeah, you're never going to be as big as your dad, mate, you know. Look at your dad, you know, I'm nearly 90 kilos, you know. And he turned around and goes, yeah, but I'm not fat. That night, I looked in the mirror, and I just thought, yeah, he's right, I'm fat. I then looked at myself, and I realised that, yeah. And I said, what are you doing? You run bodybuilding stores, you give all this advice to people, but you're not practicing it yourself. Those words, but you're fat, I think that's what turned it around. It was one of those New Year's resolution things. January 1, I'm going to change, and now I started. I actually started the whole challenge thing before the Max's Challenge. I entered when I found out about it. I started at 88 kilos and 33% body fat. Every day I get up at 6 a.m, I'd go for a 1-hour walk. I went back to the old bodybuilding diet, lower carbs, 6 meals a day, and the weight just started falling off. I changed gyms, everything, went into a totally different environment, and I can remember that first workout. No chatting, no talking, move, 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 move. I survived the workout, but I threw up at the traffic lights on the way home. In the end, I was about 72.5 kilos. So it was about 10 kilos I dropped during the challenge. But I think I built muscle. Body composition changed dramatically from 33% down to about 9%, 10%. When I started the challenge and I saw the weight coming off and I saw that there was muscle under there, I thought, right, next year's my big year, 50. So let's set up a goal and compete then. I trained hard and I was disciplined, you know. And it was about 2 weeks before that April 28th show, I went to Justin, I think I'm going to pull out of this one. He goes, why? My body's not responding. He sort of goes, take off your shirt. And he had a look at me and he goes, you're in good condition. He goes, your diet shit. So he turned me around and within a week I could see it. My metabolism changed, my body composition changed. I filled out, I started losing fat. And then he goes, right, now we've got 4 weeks and now we're going to get you into really good condition. I was scared at first. I still didn't know if I deserved to be on stage, even though after the April 28th show, everyone came up to me. They were amazed and said, we couldn't believe what's under there, you know, and things like that. I still didn't feel that confident. You know, I was backstage having a look at some of the other guys, and I was thinking, man, you know, I hope I don't look stupid here. But on stage, I felt great. That's my first place. That felt great. It felt really good. That's fueled me now. You know, I did this for me, you know. If someone can somehow get their focus from what I'm doing, well, that's really great. Having my before and after pictures in every shop is really good. It motivates my customers and we've been able to help them. There's a lot of our customers who are doing the challenge this year. I think it has changed my life in so many ways, not just health-wise, in business, in everything else. My attitude has changed. It really has taught me that don't be scared to change things because opportunities open up.
They certainly do open up, Kim, and what an awesome story. Now, as Kim mentioned, he had some previous experience with serious weight training, but that doesn't have to be the case to get awesome results in the challenge. In fact, Andrew Clark is living proof of that. Andrew was like most people, maybe even like some of you out there watching tonight, folks. He'd been an active bloke most of his life, but he let himself go a bit when he decided to take up the Muscle Up Challenge. Now, as you'll see, his results were amazing, but they were nothing compared to what he achieved when the Muscle Up Challenge was finished. Let's check out this amazing story.
Previous to the challenge, I was just a regular guy, do the normal things, regular patterns. After having done the challenge, people that you haven't seen for a while would make comment, oh wow, you're looking different, you're looking bigger. Because you see yourself every day in the mirror, you don't notice the changes as much. And then all of a sudden, to change him dramatically in that 18 months, it's a lot of discipline, a lot of commitment. Having to find a structure and do something consistently and get into a pattern. So then I found something that I was passionate about. After completing the challenge last year, set another challenge for myself. Initially, I'd had no indication or no idea that I wanted to get on stage and do bodybuilding. Other people that had seen me training had suggested that maybe that's my next step. When it came down to the training, I was getting a lot of advice from Carlos and Kim at Aussie Muscle were fantastic. They invited me to go down and do a training session with them at the gym. I was overwhelmed by getting that invitation, so it's definitely something I wasn't going to knock back. They were very helpful, very encouraging, almost killed me, but it just made me realise that the intensity that I needed to be doing it at, because I wasn't pushing myself hard enough. Going into the first comp, I was very nervous. I was fortunate enough to get advice from Jason Bednarz at Spot On. Because I had no idea what to expect, I didn't know anything about the tan, the posing, the routines. I'm used to being on stage, behind a guitar, hiding behind that, hiding behind a microphone and being in the background. But it's a total different ball game when you've got to walk up there fully exposed in a pair of Smarty holders, and there's nothing much to the imagination for the public. And 4 days out from the comp, I started getting the flu when I've been doing my best to avoid it. But I think with the body fat levels being as low as they were, come the day of the comp, I felt horrible. I was sitting in the audience with my wife and couldn't stop sneezing, and eyes were watering and nose was running, but I had to try to block it out. The biggest nerves came when I had to get out there and do a posing routine for 60 seconds to music. Posing is not easy. Even what they call the relaxed pose, there's no way it's relaxed. You've got to keep every muscle in your body switched on. You need to appear relaxed, and then the symmetrical moves and the turns. I went into 2 different categories in the A and B, the novice and the masters over 40s, and I picked up 2/3 on my first time out. I was absolutely rapt to be able to come away with some form of recognition for all the work I put in, and I went into the second comp just to practice with the posing. So I did the novice, the masters over 40 and my weight division. In my weight class, I had gone out on stage with world champion Ben Wortley, who I was motivated by and had seen in competitions, and just the idea of being on stage with him at the same time was very daunting, but it was a great experience. It's something that I'll never forget, and I was ecstatic the fact that I got it second. I had no expectation going into the third comp. I just wanted to go up there and do the best I could, and I had accomplished my goal, that was it. But the fact that I had actually got a first place and standing on stage, when I got handed that first place trophy on stage, I was fighting back the tears. It was all the emotion just coming out, and I thought, yeah, this is absolutely, this is a pinnacle. This is icing on the cake for everything. Personally, I feel so much more confident, healthier, happier, except when I'm on a pre-comp diet. My wife will argue that. I'm in the best shape I've been in my whole entire life. And the information that I've absorbed and what I've learned over the last 18 months has been incredible. And to put all this information that I've got into practice, and I think I've found that balance now. I think I know what works for me. I'm so excited about implementing it now and carrying on, and I reckon I'll hit my peak when I'm 45. My next goal or challenge personally, I want to do bodybuilding. I never thought I'd want to be doing bodybuilding, but I guess for me now it's more than just a hobby. It's a sport that I want to continue to do. So I'll definitely want to compete again next year. I'll get up there again.
Thanks, Andrew. What a great story. Well, I don't know what else you need, folks. Seriously, if that doesn't inspire you to make the changes you need to make to get the physique you've always wanted after seeing those two incredible stories, then I don't know what will. The time is now, and all the excuses in the world just don't cut it anymore. You know why? Because the challenge is here. Registration's open on July 15th, 2013, and that's next week. All the help you could ever need, all the support, every facet of training, nutrition and motivation is there for you. It's at your fingertips and it's all free. So all you need to do is to commit to 12 weeks that could change your life forever. So get on board. This year, the Max's Muscle Up Challenge for men and Maxine's Shape Up Challenge for women incredibly has over $200,000 worth of prizes on offer, including a luxury overseas holiday, shopping sprees, Max's sponsorships, plus much more. And if that wasn't enough to get you interested, folks, then what about the prospect of getting into the absolute best shape of your life? This year, as always, the Muscle Up Master Coach, Freddie Liberatore, will be joined by a top team of coaches and ambassadors who will be there every step of the way for you with everything you need to know about the right training routines, nutrition and supplement plans, and anything else you need, regardless of whether your goal is to build size, get shredded, or just shape up. The challenge is open to both men and women. You just need to be over 16 years of age and be an Australian resident to enter. Remember, registration opens for the challenge on the 15th of July, but if you head to either maxchallenge.com.au or maxineschallenge.com.au, you can leave your details with us and we'll be in touch with more info on how you can get involved in this life-changing event. So what are you waiting for? If you haven't already done so, head to those two websites, get inspired and get ready to get in the best shape of your life. You won't regret it. Okay, time for a break, but don't go anywhere. We've got much more Muscle TV right after this.